At this point, what genre of music do you consider yourself?
Mm. Somebody said something the other day. They're like, you're a street. It's like it's pain music coming from, because where we come from ain't nothing but pain. So it's just like, it's like trap soul. It's like, I'm talking to the people. I'm touching them in the soul. I'm coming from a place that they understand. They know, you know what I'm saying? People really see me come from having nothing to having a whole lot independently. Though I feel like it's an inspirational trap soul. You feel me? I'm touching the people. People know it's possible. Like I know Dred. I know them boys. I feel it. I remember sleeping on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Dreaming about this. I feel like a wizard. How I just be talking about things and they happen.
Does this fall under the rap music category?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we rapping and trap. Yeah, rap music for sure. Yeah, rap. We rapping. We ain't just. It ain't just. We ain't mumbling. We rapping. We talking to the people.
Are you referred to as a rapper?
Yeah.
What is your opinion of that phrase?
It depends on what we talking about. If we talking from people in the street, they ain't considering me no rapper. That's Dred. You know what I'm saying? If we talking about people that don't know me, that's looking like, oh, that's the rapper Young Dred, then I'm a rapper. But for the people that know who I am, I'm a real life person. You know what I'm saying? They don't label me no rapper.
What makes a great rapper, in your opinion?
I feel like them being they self and changing things around them. Like if you taking the rap and can't be positive with it and show people another way, then you failed at being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like to be a real rapper, you gotta really change the situation to be considered a rapper. You gotta you gotta really do some things that make people. You a real rapper. This when I knew I was a real rapper, when I started having mini me's and copycats, and I was like, oh, okay, so shit, I'm really doing it, and I'm kind of like halfway, like my foot halfway in the streets, and I'm other in the rap. I'm watching the whole industry like take my little drip, like, oh, what I'm doing, the words I'm using, plaga. I'm hearing people talking about plaga. I'm like, damn, I ain't never heard no rappers talk about plaga until I started talking about plaga. So that's when I knew I was a real rapper. When I start getting mimicked and copied and stuff like that, I knew that I was really influencing the game.
How long have you been in rap music for?
I would say
Rough estimate.
about 8 years.
In your opinion, from what you've seen, what you've experienced, what's the biggest mistake Tampa rappers make?
Hmm. Um. Biggest mistake Tampa rappers make. I feel like being stuck in Tampa. Like there's a whole world out there. Like you know what I'm saying. Tampa got talent, so I really know like a lot of people can make it happen if they just got up out the city. Like, and that probably go for a lot of other cities too. I know it's dope artists in every city, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta really take that leap and believe. If you don't believe, like I said in my last song, if you ain't risking it, then how you expect to get rich if you ain't gonna risk it? So doing things that you might not be comfortable with, your neighborhood, leaving your neighborhood and trying to go to another person's city. I'm in another nigga city moving wrong. Like that's what it takes. So you gotta really get up out of there to make it up out of there.
Now, what's the name of the song you're referencing here? You said your last song.
Risking it all. It's on my project. A Star is Born is the album. Risking It All is the song.
Now, when it comes to this mistake that you just described, is that a mistake that you have made yourself, or are you just going off observation here?
Yeah. I can't talk about some things that I didn't do. I'm not that type of person to be talking about other people like I ain't that person too. Like coming from Tampa, we get stuck in Tampa. You feel me? And I know once I made that leap doing other things and moving, connecting the dots and stuff, that's when a lot of things start opening up for me. So I feel like that go for not just Tampa, that go for other cities. But Tampa, right now, is not a bad time to be in Tampa moving around because we got all these championships and we winning over there. We catching deals. People really checking out what we got going on in Tampa. So I'm not saying leave the city and get missing. I'm saying just move around a little piece.
Now, you've mentioned that you've been in rap music for approximately 8 years.
Right.
In that 8 year span, at what point, how many years in, or how much time in that 8 years is when you start to move around as you described?
Um, it was a time when Gucci Man came to Tampa, and I linked with him on some shit where somebody introduced me to Gucci Man, like, hey man, this young dude, like, he got what it take. Like, he just needs some inspiration from the big homie. He was out there shooting a movie for um, Spring Breakers, and he told me, like, hey, Shawty, like, hey, your shit hard. Like, keep going now, Shawty, like, keep going. And this was big Gucci now. This was big Gucci. So I was like, I appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, big homie. That's love coming from the trap god and all that there. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the jit, coming from the streets, really doing that. You really looking up. So a few days later, we did a song together while he was still in the city. And he had a show that night. And him and Coach, when they seen me a few months later, they was like, hey, man, as soon as we walked in the club, they was playing your shit. Like, that shit was up. We was in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So I was moving around, linking with Gucci and shit. Then he got in his little situation. He was gone. But at that moment was when I knew I had to keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Keep moving and networking. Me and Rich the Kid linked early before all this stuff done blew up for him. That's why that's my bro. We got relationships. So if I ain't make those moves early, I wouldn't have certain relationships.
When it came to Gucci Man, when it came to Rich the Kid Early, were these paid features at the time?
With Gucci it was. Yeah, but I got the super love. I got the, it didn't even feel like a feature. It was like more like a respect thing, you know. But with Rich the Kid, yeah, that was before all that. Like that was real early.
Now, you described when this moment happened for you, as far as you moving around. But in that 8 year period, that 8 year span, are you able to pinpoint when it was? Was it like 2 years in? Was it 4 years in when you
Yeah.
start moving around? Or
Um,
are you able to pinpoint it in that sense, or no, not really?
with the Gucci, I would say that was like a year or two in, like really like yeah, like a year, like 2 years in, where I started moving around. But you still don't understand that that's what you're supposed to be doing till you're doing it times 10. You know what I'm saying? So I would say it probably took me about like 4 years to really understand you got to move around.
Now, is this a mistake you notice yourself, or did others around you notice it and inform you of?
I feel like when you from a place and like your head is hitting the ceiling, you gonna figure it out yourself. You gonna know like, hey, it's time, cause it ain't always time for everybody to get up out of there. You gotta build home first. So I wouldn't just say, oh, leave the city and go to Atlanta and get popping. No, get popping in the city wherever you from first. Then start making them links. So when they call and check in, they know like, okay, yeah, they really do got a wave out there in their city. So I wouldn't suggest just anybody making things too early because you might twirl yourself with that decision. So I would say it got to make sense for the situation. I had a song with Gucci Man. He from Atlanta. He the trap god. He already in all these spots. So that's when I started moving. You know what I'm saying? It made sense for me to move like that. But every situation is different, so I wouldn't recommend just anybody hopping off the porch, jumping in deep water, and then you need a life float.
Now, what are your thoughts on rap music in 2021?
I like where it's at now better than where it was a few years ago. I feel like it got back to the streets and, back to people talking and not just saying anything. Like, you got to come with some content right now. You got to be talking about something, and they got to understand what you're saying and respect what you're saying at the same time. So I feel like it's at a good spot. It's at a good place right now.
Now, I don't know if what you just said answers my next question. If it does, that's okay. We're done with the question and answer. But if it doesn't, fill it in.
No.
Best thing about rap music right now?
Best thing about rap music right now is that you got more freedom. Like it's not all these things that's holding you back. Like I feel like artists have more freedom right now. If you want to go the radio route, you looking for a radio song. You want to go TikTok, you going TikTok. You want to go op talk, they going op talk. They want to go Kanye gospel, you go Kanye gospel. So I feel like rap is at a time that you can do whatever you want to do. Like ain't nothing better than that. It used to be like geared into you have to do it a certain way. That's why it took Tampa so long because they tried to get us to do juke music so long, and I was like, I ain't going that way. I'm not going. Not saying that that's not our nature. I mean, that's not our sound of where we from, but that's not my story. So I can't say that. That's why it took longer for me. Is 8 years. It would have been 2 years because now they talking about the shit I'm talking about that I've been talking about, and they getting signed in 60 days. You know what I'm saying? So the 8 years I had to put in for Tampa, going around the whole world pushing this Tampa. Niggas wasn't hearing it. Oh, your football team sucked. They was saying all that shit. Now that we winning Super Bowls and people getting signed, they getting picked up. Gucci Man signing artists from right where I'm from, West Tampa. Like the scope is right there. You know what I'm saying? And they don't. I feel like they don't give enough credit to who done brought the scope there. You know what I'm saying? At this time, like this precious time you talking about, from 2018 to 2021, we done brought a whole new wave to Tampa, Florida. As you can see artists outside doing what. If you go back to my Blue Strips video, Lil Baby, nobody was doing videos like that. We brought the Dracos out. We had helicopters. Bay News 9 was trying to see what the hell going on at a public park. Like we brought a different time to Tampa where the streets could talk how they feel and do what they feel and get respected like other cities. Like Tampa, Florida is not just booty shit. It's real shit going on out there that I ain't gonna talk about because that's a whole different situation. I ain't on that. But it's real life shit going on in Tampa, Florida. For real.
Now, when it comes to the championships in sports, like the Tampa Bay Lightning with hockey, the Tampa Bay Bucks with football, even the Tampa Rays in baseball, how far they went, World
Right.
Series, right? Uh, in 2020, they lost, but they were in the World Series, the championship. Um, do you think that has something to do with people getting signed at all? Do you think that that's helped in
Help the
any way,
city?
shape, or form of that nature, or is that just simply a coincidence that they are winning championships now and someone like Gucci is signing an artist from Tampa, for example?
No, that's not by coincidence. That's because of Young Dred and YTC. Why we winning championships and why artists are getting signed and all that. Not all solely. I'm gonna say we inspired and we bring a lot of energy to the city to showing that it's possible. It was a lot of people sleeping on snooze until we did certain moves to wake them up worldwide, not just in the city. The city just gets the first backlash of it because you right here, so you're gonna get the first wave of it. But when it comes down to people, like I even predicted before on another interview, like I predicted before we even started last season that we was gonna win the Super Bowl, and I bet 100,000 that we were gonna win the Super Bowl. And when the season started, the Bucks was trash. People were clowning us. We ain't had no preseason. Tom Brady first time in the city, and we went all the way. You feel me? It's because of the energy. And the song I got with Hot Boy, we shot that in the hurricane in Tampa, Florida, a week before the Super Bowl. And when we dropped the song, we said that we're gonna drop the song the weekend of the Super Bowl because we know we're gonna win and everything's up. And we did that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the energy is in Tampa right now. So everybody that's doing their thing in Tampa is turning the pot. So I'm not gonna say solely is us, but the positive energy that's going on in the city, we influence a lot of it.
When you say we influence a lot of it, is this just your own self-assessment, or have others actually told you
Oh
you're the
man,
reason?
if the cameras follow me to Tampa, Florida, you'll see the biggest to the smallest letting us know exactly. Like me, myself, I know I do so much. I'm moving light years ahead. So the things that I'm doing now, things I'm doing now, I've been set up. You feel me? So it's like the reaction of even this project I dropped, I got the craziest reaction when I touched down back in the city. Oh man, this is the hardest project since that you done dropped since. So the people been letting me know like, yo, you influenced this, you influenced that. You're the reason why I'm doing this. You're the reason why I'm rapping. I'm watching them. Like we really birthing, we giving them, we showing them that it's possible from a Tampa person, from nothing to something. They could really sit there and say, I seen these boys from nothing since high school. They talking about, I remember going through the hallways, people thinking the YTC wasn't, oh no, he got a chain, like what he do? Like now they the same ones that went to school with me, my principals, they looking up to me, praising me, letting me know I'm inspiring them. They kids taking pics. So it's deeper than what I assess. It's beyond me. They just letting us know that, hey man, you the GOAT out here, man. Appreciate you putting on the city. Shout out to the whole 813, man. I love y'all, man. You know that shit. I got that shit tatted on me for life.
What high school is this that you're mentioning?
Jefferson. I'm a J-boy.
And you graduated from that school?
Yeah, I did. Made it through.
And when it came to this bet, just for clarification, you put 100,000 on the Bucks, or you put an amount and your winnings was 100,000?
Well, I put the bet out there. Ain't nobody want to take it. You know what I'm saying? I put the 100 up there, but if I knew what I knew, I would have went to Vegas with it. For damn sure.
Okay. So that was the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
Now, what about the 2021 Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Have you...
Already, we going again. We going.
Have you put a bet out there again in the air, or have you actually gone to Vegas and put a bet down on them?
No, but I'm definitely going to Vegas to put one down, and I definitely already said that we going, and that's what's happening. We definitely going again for damn sure.
Going to the Super Bowl or actually going to win the Super Bowl again?
Both.
Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, what is the worst thing about rap music right now?
The worst thing right now that I ain't feeling is, all these senseless killings and, people like not really thinking about the opportunity and what they can do with the opportunity. Like, it's so much like stuff that you can do with being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like once you become a rapper and people looking up to you, like it took me time. Like I was sitting down with my old coach and he was telling me like, Dred, like you really in a different position right now. Like it's kids in my class that look up to you. Like I'm not thinking like that. I'm not thinking as kids that's going to school that want to be me. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta watch what the hell I'm talking about. I gotta watch what I'm telling them because the kids are the future. You feel me? So you gotta get your story out there, but you gotta make sure the content is explaining exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if you not, you gotta make sure you're reaching back to the community and talking to the people so they can understand that, yeah, this is where I came from, this is what I overcome, but this is not what you gotta go through. You know what I'm saying? These are the consequences that come with it. Cause I don't think a lot of people really telling them the consequences that come with this shit. I ain't glorifying that I did this and that. I'm telling you that's what I had to go through to get to where I'm at, and I'm past that. You feel me? I did that. Like it's conquered. It's over with. You ain't gotta get stuck there. You ain't gotta be the mouse on the damn or the hamster on the wheel. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get up off that shit and go explore some more shit. So I feel like rap just, is in a time where we got to use the power for better.
What is rap music missing right now, if anything?
I feel like the verses, looking at that last verses, I feel like it's missing like shit, like from back in the days, like when you thinking about Nelly and stuff like that, it's missing people like bringing fun music, back, like, you know what I'm saying? Fun rap. Like, everybody can't be street. Like, if I could talk about other things, like, I'm just in my lane because I'm talking my life. I don't even write music. I go off the top of the head. I go off of experiences. So I feel like if people brought back that fun, like, different type vibes, I think that's what is missing. Like, they need a little spark to it, a little piece. You know what I'm saying?
Is rap music in 2021 a hustle or an art form?
It depends on who you're talking to. You know what I mean? For me, I know how to hustle, so I hustle other things like rap. I don't need to hustle. I'm just speaking what how I hustled. You feel me? So it's to each his own for real. Like, some people gonna take it as a hustle. It's definitely a hustle now. Like, shit, he's getting hella money out here. So it's definitely a hustle. It's a big business that you want to get a part of. Just like anything that you do, sports, I feel like that's a hustle. You just doing what you love to do. So it's just, it is what it is for real.
I know you said you don't have to hustle rap. You can do other things for you personally, but
All right.
was it a hustle when you first started, or was it a
Nah,
form of art for you when
it
you
was
first started?
all art. I just fell in love with music. And I want to just give my spiel on it, you know what I'm saying? And just to be able to achieve the things I achieved independently with no majors, like it was like adrenaline. Like, every level I done got to is like I really did it. I did it on my own type. So for me, it wasn't really a hustle, because when you independent, it's really like you spending more than you making. So at that point, if it was a hustle, any hustler ain't trying to lose. Like, so it's like you gotta love it if you ain't making no money back from it off rip.
Now, have you signed a recording contract?
Yeah, I got a partnership right now with Asylum Warner, YTC Asylum Warner.
And that's the only contract you ever signed.
Yeah, it's the only one.
Now, how did this happen? Give me
Uh,
the whole story on that.
the deal.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta give credit to big dog Richie West. He made that whole play happen. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing what I do, recording, and bro had a vision for a bigger play, and he put it together. You know what I'm saying? And now we here. We trending on Apple Music, new releases. Shout out Apple Music. Shout out Tidal. Shout out Hip Hop Nation. Shout out everybody, Spotify, that's running my stuff up right now. Shit's crazy.
Why did you sign with this record label in particular?
I feel like they understood the situation, and it was a good fit, because I done met with a lot of record labels. They just it wasn't clicking. I feel like at this time, and it's all about timing. Like, for this time, and we in pandemic. I signed a deal in the pandemic. It's like, I'm hearing like that's crazy. People they ain't signing no deals in no pandemic. So it's timing. God put the play together. I couldn't even call it. Like, once I start thinking about labels and stuff, things start just happening differently. You know what I'm saying? It just naturally molded together. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just recording. And it just, the play, it happened.
Now, everyone's situation is different. But
Right.
for you, why even sign a recording contract to begin with? Because some artists don't.
Um,
And this being your first recording contract, there's been years where you
right.
didn't sign one. So
Yeah.
why sign?
It's perks. It's perks that come with it. Certain people, they ain't gonna tell you that, but as an independent, just like the city thing, like, your head hit the roof. I done toured overseas. I got songs with the biggest artists in the game. Like, there's certain things you can do independently, and yeah, you own all your stuff, but there's certain things you can't do without the label. So you gotta respect what the label got, and it's all about relationships. You ain't got no relationships, they got. So it's like, you gotta pick your battles. Like, what you gonna do?
Now, you mentioned Big Bro.
Right.
I'm assuming you're referring to Richie West.
Yeah.
Am I pronouncing that name right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He is in the building. Excuse me. He's in this room with us
Yeah.
for transparency. But as far as Asylum Warner, are you biologically related to anyone on either of those imprints?
No.
What do you think attracted them to you initially?
I feel like it's just the situation, you know. I don't know if it would have been like this if it was another project. I feel like this body of work made sense to everybody. Like it was something like I said, like pandemic, people ain't signing no deals, so they ain't have to do it. So, you know, it's something that made sense for them. It made sense for us, and we the relationship is lit right now. We all loving how things are playing out.
When you say body of work, are you just talking about your catalog of music, or are you referring to an actual title of a project?
A title of a project. I just dropped my album last Thursday. A Star Was Born, 9921. I dropped it.
Uh, you said you had spoken to other record labels in the past. Uh, did you pass on any other offers?
Yeah, there wasn't like I had certain conversations with labels, and I had a few offers that just wasn't, you know, it wasn't like it didn't make sense at the time, but this made sense. That's why I was still been independent. It had to make sense. Like we didn't sign, like we did a partnership, so it's a respect thing that lies between that, you know.
Care to share who you passed on?
No, I don't want to mention it because now I mean it's over with.
And on the opposite end of the spectrum, just to be fair, did anyone pass on you
Yeah,
before you do this deal with?
yep. And that gave me more energy to keep, you know, to be where I'm at, for sure.
Do you remember what month you actually signed?
August or late July. Yeah, August.
Of 2021?
It's August.
It was
July.
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 Of 2021?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we was negotiating that deal for 4 months.
Yeah, it just didn't happen
It's real
overnight.
specific.
Yeah, we've been negotiating that deal for like 4 months, but we finally inked it like the end of July.
Now, for time reference, it's September 2021 now.
Yeah.
I know you haven't had much time, relatively speaking, being with Asylum / Warner, but the amount of time that you have been a part of this deal, what's it like being a part of Asylum / Warner?
Um,
What does that feel like? What's that like? Just
it feels crazy. Like the feelings like crazy because I have freedom. Like this was the deal that I always was looking for. Like the freedom. Cause all what we done built up, like you get a respect when you really doing the right things. Cause a lot of artists, I done heard, I got relationships with a lot of A&R, so we talk on the regular from other labels. They let me know straight up, like, hey, bro, how you moving? They ain't moving like that. So it's just refreshing to know that we really did our thing independently and respected in the space of the big dogs to get that love and get that freedom to do it how we want to do it and bring our people up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and the freedom to move on the releases how you want.
yeah,
Like, you just signed a deal in July,
and I
your
dropped
project
that.
already dropped. Like, how many times?
Yeah, people ain't dropping as soon as they sign. Like I signed it and dropped in like 40 days, like immediately. So the feeling of being a priority and knowing that they got my back and they ready to drop and they appreciated the body of work, it's like everything. Excuse me.
so when it comes to A Star Was Born, was the whole entire project, the features, the producers, that was already completed before you do the deal?
Yeah. Yeah. But like we said, we was negotiating, so I probably had some songs that we was doing, but when we finally inked it, all the songs was done.